So, as you have seen so far, that all the optimization questions that we have done does not consider any restrictions, okay? And with the restrictions we've seen before, that it might be that we're not using one of the sides, right? What we saw with the squares, we were using only 3 of sides, right? And then the fourth side was like a wall or a beach or whatever, right? In the case of a cube, it won't be a side, it will be a whole face or 2, right? So let's say if you want to make a box, right? And then you want to make the box without the top, okay? Or you want to make a box without the top and the bottom, okay? So these would be restrictions. So when you come to this kind of restriction, your shape won't be a cube anymore, okay? You'll have different dimensions, right, to optimize the area or the surface area. I mean the volume or the surface area, okay? So there may be constraints on the prism you are optimizing, so the dimensions may have to be the whole numbers or be multiples of a given number. Sometimes one or more of the sides of the objects are missing or bordered by some physical barrier, okay? So whenever you get a question with restriction, then you have to do a table of value like the one we're going to do next, okay? Let's look at this example. Designing a glass candle holder. It will be a square-based rectangular prism with outer surface area of 225 centimeters squared and no top. Right there. This is where your restriction is, right? And no top, right? So this is where your restriction is. All right? So you know it's not going to be a cube. Let's read the question again. Jacob is designing a glass candle holder. It will be a square-based rectangular prism. Square-based rectangular prism, he is basically forcing you to have the rectangular prism, but with not only no top, but also the bottom, the base is going to be a square. Okay, that's a very bad rectangular prism, but the base is going to be also a square. Okay, so basically you have a side and a side, so they're both the same, right? Because you have a square-based prism, okay? And you have the height, okay? Instead of having a length and a width and 2 different things, we have the same thing here. Are you guys okay with this? Now, we are given the surface area of that prism. So what formula must I start with? The surface area formula. Now remember here, number 1, it's not cube, so I can't use 6s squared. Number 2, it's not a regular prism, rectangular prism, so I can't use the surface area formula in the booklet. I have to come up with that surface area formula. Okay? Now, help me here. How many faces do I have?
No. 4 faces?
4 faces. How about the bottom? 5.
5.
Right? Okay. What's the area of the bottom? Of the bottom. No, of the bottom. Of the bottom face. What's the area of the bottom?
Area?
Yeah, 0. No.
What is the area of what face?
What's the area of the square?
Left.
That's square. No.
Okay.
That's square.
L squared. Right? In this case, it's S squared.
Okay.
Right? S times S.
Yeah.
Okay. So the area of the bottom worry about that. Do you agree, all of you agree with me that all the four faces, the other four faces, they're the same? Because they're all made of S and H, S and H, S and H. They're all made of the same thing.
Sorry, the right.
Okay, so how many faces I have? Four faces. What's their area would be? It would be 4 times S times H,
Okay.
right? So S times H, and I have 4 of that same side, right? So it will be 4SH. So the surface area of this whole thing without the top is S squared plus 4SH. Are we okay with that so far? So I came up with this formula. I used my previous knowledge of finding the area of the squares or the rectangles, right, which is length times width, right? But I used them to find the area of every side, and then I made up that formula. And sometimes you have to make up this formula. It's not given to you. Are you guys okay with this? All right. Now, the question is, I know the surface area, right, which is 225, but I don't know the height and I don't know the side, the bottom, right? So I've given you here the base side length. So I gave you the side length, which is x, right? So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? The question is, what would be the height? I have to isolate for that. Okay? So I know the surface area, which is 225, and it's not going to change because it's a fixed surface area. Right? I want to try to isolate for H. Right? Because I'm going to be given that S side. Alright? Are you guys okay with it? Alright, so isolate for H. What do you guys do?
One for S, or
No, I don't want to put 1 for S yet. I want to isolate for H first.
so we take it left side.
So what are we going to take to the left side?
So we move the 225 to the right and
I want to keep the 225 to the left. I want to keep H here, and I want to move everything else to the left.
Okay.
So what do I move first? I have to
S
move this
squared.
one first, right? So it becomes negative S squared. Are you guys okay with that? Are you guys okay with that so far? Alright, now what's next?
Remove the 4S.
How, when I move it over, what does it become? Division. Division, right? Because there is a multiplication here,
Yep.
right? So bring it over, so you have 225 minus S squared, all divided by 4x equals to the height.
Okay.
Okay? So all what I have to do right now is, I know that my S is 1, for example, I plug in 1 for S, and I find H.
Okay.
Okay? So the formula for the height is 225 minus S squared over 4S. Okay? All what I have to do is take that value of S, plug it in, find the value of H. Are you guys okay with this? Now, if I'm looking for the volume, what would be the volume of this?
so we will put the sides length and then we can solve the question.
What's the formula?
Yeah, it's a
S squared?
S squared plus 4SH.
No,
So what is the question?
the volume formula,
Okay.
not the surface area. What I have here is a less.
Side times side times H, right?
It's side times H, so that's side squared times H. Okay? Because it's side times H. You have to remember that I don't have three S's, right? Or I don't have three M's. I have a side and a height. Okay? So, I've already figured out my formulas. All what I have to do right now is fill out my table. Okay? So, first plug in 1 for S. Okay? So 225 minus 1 squared, so that's 225 minus 1, which is 224, right? Divided by 4. Which is 4?
Yeah.
What's 224 divided by 4?
56.
56. Do you guys understand how I got this? Alright. Now, the volume is side squared, which is 1 squared is 1, times 56, that is 56. Okay? Now, find this one. I have to do 225, take away S squared, which is 4, over 4 times 2, which is 8. Are we okay with that? So, 2 in for S,
Okay.
225 minus 2 squared, so that's 225 minus 4, divided by 4 times 2, which is 8. So what's 221 divided by 8?
It's 27.625.
Okay?
Which is gonna be 28 if we round.
27.625. I'm gonna leave it as. Now, if I want to find the volume, I have to do S squared times H. So that's 2 squared, which is 4, times 27.625. And I'm going to have to get, I think, 110.5. Do you guys understand that? Okay? So in this case, you gave the values for S, right? And then you're looking for the values of H. Now the question, now in this case, I've kind of made it easy for you by giving you the values of S, right? If you have to make this table of value and you don't know which one do you start with? Which one do you pick, S or H, and why? That's the question, okay? I'm gonna give you a hint here. If you look at this formula right here, how many H's do you see?
1.
How many S's do you see? Technically it's 2, right?
Yeah.
2. You see it twice,
Right.
right? So which one is easier to isolate for?
The S.
You have 2 S's,
H.
right? So H is the one that's easier to isolate for, okay? So you always want to isolate for the one that appears only once, okay? So isolate that appears once. And then for the other one that appears twice, you're gonna give it the values. And that's why I gave the S the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Are you guys okay with this? So it will help you make decisions when you have problems like this. I'm not gonna give you the table problem. Okay? You're gonna have to make, especially when you do your homework, you have to make your own table of values. Are you guys
So
okay
we
with
start
that?
from 1?
You start from, yeah, and in this case I started from 1. You're gonna have to see how your numbers work.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, let's continue the table. So do you guys understand? Understand how the table's being made? Do I have an S or can I just fill out the numbers? I can fill out the numbers? Okay. Now, what am I looking for again? What am I trying to optimize? Volume. So I'm looking for my maximum volume. see that my volume keeps going up, right? I haven't reached a point where I'm starting to get back down, right? My volume keeps increasing. Do you notice anything? When the height is decreasing, but the volume is increasing until you reach what? What do you notice here at the end? What happened to the volume?
Volume started to go down.
It started to go down, right? So if I keep going, if I put an 11 here and I find that value, right? That value is going to be even, the volume is going to be even lower than 312, right? So you see in this case, the volume was increasing, right? Until you reach a value here, and then it stopped increasing and started decreasing.
So because the value is becoming more than surface area?
Mm-hmm.
225?
Well, no, it doesn't, that's not the case. It's just
I mean, the
because.
given surface area.
No, the surface area is always going to be 225.
Yeah, but volume is volume, because here volume is 324, after that is getting decreasing.
It happened to be that way. It happened to be that 324. Okay? Doesn't have anything to do with the surface area. So, if you want to solve this question, right, what would be the dimension that would give you the maximum volume?
Dimension.
9 by
9/4.
9 by 9 by 4. Right? So this right here is the one that gives you the maximum volume. You look at the other volumes are all lower than this value, correct? Right? So the dimensions that will give you the maximum volume by 9 by 4, 17. Why did I write 9 twice and 4 once?
Because we have two sides and one height.
That's right. And 9 represents your side, right? Represents your S. Look at the table of value. 4 represents the height. Okay? So I write 9 times 9 times 4. Now, going back to this formula right here, I'm just going to repeat it again. This formula is not going to be the same for every question you do. It all depends on the conditions that they've given you. Okay? In this case, they've given us a condition where the bottom is a square. Okay? They gave us a condition where the top does not exist. Right? For every situation, you're going to have to make up that formula. Okay? And in this case, you're making up the surface area formula because the surface area was given to you. Okay? If they gave you the volume, if you started with a volume, then you have to make up the volume formula. Okay? Every question is different. Are you guys okay with this? Okay?
Maya, when you get a moment, come on down and I'll
Of
talk to you
course.
a sec, okay?
Yep.